tag somebody that you know needs to hear this message today. I'm talking about the story behind Maximize Your Existence.
And y'all, when I read this book, I was like, oh my gosh, this woman has been stalking my life. Because I'm serious, everything in there, I was like, she gets me. She actually gets me. I am here. Yes, I give myself permission.
He's saying, look out, because here I come. I'm going to turn this down and I want to read these lyrics because this literally ties into my conversation today on the story behind Maximize Your Existence. For those of you all who don't know me, my name is Tasha Scott, and I'm a professional speaker, life coach, and leadership trainer. And my passion, my mission, my assignment that I feel like is to help wake purpose up in others, even in the organizations that I go into. I have a special place in my heart for women. And today I don't have a guest. I'm the special guest, and I'm going to come and talk about the Maximize Your Existence. I know you've been seeing this workshop that I have coming up. I've got the book. I've done a masterclass on it. But today I'm sharing the story behind the movement. But before I get started, the song that I was just playing, This Is Me, came from the movie The Greatest Showman. Have any of you all ever seen this movie before or heard the song from The Greatest Showman? So let me read this. And I'm a song person, so songs speak to me. It says, I'm not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say, because we don't want your broken parts. I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say. No one will love you as you are. But I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words want to cut me down, I'm going to send a flood, going to drown them out. This is my favorite part of this song. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, because here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. That's the song that's been playing in my ears lately these days, and it goes right along with the Maximize Your Existence. So where did this phrase Maximize Your Existence come from? For me, I've been doing this for 5 years now, speaking, training, and coaching. When I first got out of the gates, my first book was called Don't Limit Me. I'm not going to go into those details, but the whole purpose of that book was about waking up and giving yourself permission to live the life of your dreams. Have any of you that are watching me right now, or even if you're watching the replay, have you gotten that book? Have you read Don't Limit Me? That's the beginning. That was the beginning of the journey for me. And it was me waking up out of complacency, waking up out of insecurity, waking up out of the mess that my life had become. That's what that was for me. But how many of y'all know that waking up is just a one-time thing? How many of y'all know that it's not just a one-time thing to get healed? It's not a one-time thing to have breakthroughs. That in this life, we are going to have levels. We are going to have elevations. We're going to have times where there's going to be valley lows even. But all in all, it's a journey. It's not about the destination. It's about the journey that God has called us to live. So for me, when I did Don't Limit Me back then, I felt like I had come clean. I had basically come clean with myself. I was very transparent about the stories that I was telling. I was sharing the mess of what was happening, what I had come out of, and even being transparent, even in the current stuff. And one day, and this didn't happen just all of a sudden, one of my coaches, we were having a conversation and she said, Tasha, I feel like you're still hiding. And at first I was like, what are you talking about? Have you not listened to my videos? Have you not heard me talk about the keynotes that I've done where I've been talking about all of the things, the issues that I was going through? Have you not seen all that? What do you mean I'm hiding? I'm being real, you know? Everybody's like, keep it real lately, right? And she was like, yeah, you're doing things, but I still feel like you're hiding. And I took what she said to heart because I'm teachable. I took what she said and I started processing it. And before I go any further, I want to just ask you, have you in your life said yes to something? Said yes to a dream? You said yes to a relationship, yes to a business. You knew that God was calling you to this. You had no doubt in your mind that you were going all in with it. But then when you said yes to that thing, have you ever had a time after the yes where you started to doubt, where you started to play small because you realized, oh my gosh, I'm actually doing this. I'm actually moving beyond where I was. It's almost equivalent to in the Bible when the Bible talks about Peter walking on water. He literally was in the boat with Jesus and he said, bid me to come. And Jesus said, come. And so Peter was literally walking on water with Jesus. But then all of a sudden he took his focus off and started to drown. Y'all remember that story? And so if we could look at our own lives, it's the equivalent of that. We said yes. We went for it. We looked fear in the face, all of that. But then have you ever had a time in the middle of it? Am I talking to anybody? Have you ever had times in the middle of it? Maybe it's you right now where you're wondering, what is going on with me? Why do I feel like I'm shrinking back when, yes, I'm further along than where I was, but slowly doubt is creeping in, slowly fear is creeping in, slowly people's opinions are starting to get under your skin or get to you, and they're dictating moves that you make. Or maybe it's your bank account. You're like, I need to do more, but this is holding me back. Is there an area of your life that you feel like you're progressing in one way, but you're hiding in another? I just got to stop right there and ask that question again, because I need to know, am I talking to anybody? Ashley says yes. LaCarsha says yes all the time. Katina says yes, absolutely. Okay, thank you, ladies. Thank you, because it's us on this conversation. We get each other. So that's where I was after I said yes, after I was getting awards. I literally had moments where I started to shrink back in some ways while I was progressing and propelling in other ways. So when this coach called me out basically and said, I feel like you're hiding. I feel like there's something that you're not allowing yourself to go deeper in, or you're playing it safe. That's what it was. She said, you're playing it safe, Tasha. And I'll be honest, I got mad because I was like, lady, I have overcome so much, you know? And when she said that, it was like, ouch. But she was right. I was playing it safe because it was almost like I had come out of the darkness. I had come out of the shame. I had come out of the guilt. I had come out of everything. And part of me was like, okay, this is where I'm going to settle. And I didn't say this verbally, but my actions backed up all of that. And so I played safe because I was just relieved that I wasn't where I was. Did y'all just hear that? I played it safe because I was relieved that I wasn't where I was. But in playing it safe, I was hiding parts of me still because I didn't believe that I was worthy or capable of more. And it's crazy. It's crazy because you can be performing at a level where people are applauding you. You can be performing at a level where everybody's like, oh my God, you're doing so good. But you know there's more. God knows there's more. And so, where did maximize your existence come from? It came from that moment where I got called out by somebody that I respected, who challenged me to look at my life and say, is there more that's in you, but you're settling right here, or you're hiding because you're playing it safe? So there was three ways that I feel like that God's communicated more to me, or to maximize your existence. That weekend, after she asked me the question, I started writing. And as I was writing in the form of journaling, I started realizing that I was not allowing myself to go through doors that God had opened because I didn't feel like I was worthy, or because I didn't want to mess it up. I didn't want to be back where I was. And so I just played safe. So a couple things happened. One day I was brushing my teeth and I looked at my toothpaste tube. And how many of y'all probably heard me share this story before, but you have this toothpaste tube and you know the toothpaste is getting low. So what are some of the things that y'all would do? Entertain me, if you would, in the comment section. Let me know, when your toothpaste tube gets low, what do you normally do? While I'm waiting on your responses, some of the things that I do is I may get the toothbrush and I may squeeze it to the top, or I may roll it. Anybody else? Or there might be some times where if it gets really, really low, I may take, after I've squeezed it, after I've rolled it, I may take some scissors and I may cut it and get the inside of that toothpaste tube. Maybe it's not toothpaste, maybe it's makeup, maybe it's moisturizer or whatever. But the point is, I am not going to throw that tube away until I've used every ounce of what is in it. And that's how I feel like God is for us. He is not going to let go of us. He is not going to let up off of us until he has really shown us who we truly are, the way he sees us. Not the way that we've seen ourselves through the eyes of shame or guilt or anything from our past. God is saying there is more in you. And so there's times you're going to be squeezed. There's times where it feels like you're getting cut, but he's saying there is more in you. There's more growth in you. There's more purpose in you. There is more in you. Like, it is not enough just to settle for barely getting by. It is not enough just to settle for, okay, I made it through that. Now I don't have to worry about that anymore. And he's saying, yeah, you made it through, because by the grace of God, you made it through, but there's more in you. And that was one way that he spoke to me, was saying, Tasha, it is time for you to maximize the very reason why you are here. But here's the thing, I don't have to do it in my own strength. You don't have to do it in your own strength. God is calling us higher. So I'm speaking to the people who have said yes. I've said yes to my dreams. I've said yes to my vision, the God visions that he's entrusted me with. I've said yes, and I've done things that I've never done before. I've pushed past limitations that I've never pushed past before. And my challenge to you is there more? Or have you settled for safe? Got to do a check-in here. Got to do a check-in. Is anybody relating to what I'm saying? Linda says she rolls her toothpaste. LaCarsha says she squeezes it. Is there anybody that's relating to what I'm saying, where you could even be bold enough to say, Tasha, that's where I'm at right now. I am settling for safe, mainly because I know that I'm not where I was, but I don't want to make the same mistakes. I don't want to rehearse or repeat the past. Is that anybody? Let me know by some hearts, or let me know in the comments that I'm talking to the right people. So when I was challenged with maximize your existence, what God was challenging me to was to grow into the vision that he has for my life. To grow higher, to grow stronger, to grow deeper in the vision that he has for my life. And so the other thing, the funny thing is, when a lot of times when I would come on to speak, to do videos, to do all of that, one of the things that I always wrestled with was I didn't like the sound of my voice. That might be a common thing because I've heard other people say that. And I've always shied away, which when it comes to doing even a Facebook Live video, the things that I have to go through, even mindset shifts to be able to come on and do a Facebook Live, or the nerves that I have to overcome just to do a speaking engagement. And I know it's crazy. That's what I do. I'm a professional speaker. I do that. And one of the things that I always used as an excuse was nobody wants to hear me. And I was literally rehearsing that like a broken record in my mind. Even while I was talking to people, even while I was getting paid to speak, I would rehearse that. Nobody wants to hear me. Nobody wants to hear my voice. And I always, especially when I heard my voice back on recordings, I'd be like, oh, I know I'm not the only one. But one of the things in this whole maximize to be who God called me to be, he started dealing with me about how I talked to myself and how I talked about myself. And one of the things that I always do when I'm coaching people is I always ask for feedback, and I like to know how people found me or why they even hired me to be their coach. And I had a couple of people tell me when I asked, why did you choose me? Like, what is it about me that you said, yes, I need her to be my coach? And do you know that several of them said, it was your voice, Tasha? They said, it was your voice. And I was like, the very thing that I despised about myself was the very thing that God was using, which helped me to see it's not about me. It's not about my thoughts. It's about what God purposed for me. Make sense? And so the thing that I realized is I've got to stop despising who I am, and I've got to start treating the pieces of me, like my voice, as an asset. That's what God's going to use to maximize my existence, to maximize the purpose, to use me as an instrument. Sometimes the enemy will try to come against us and attack us in the very areas that God is saying, that's the area right there. That's the area. That's the thing that I'm going to use. And so we'll get all these attacks and have these mind battles for those things. And so that was one of the areas that God started speaking to me about. In order to maximize my existence, is I've got to start appreciating the gifts. I've got to start appreciating the tools and the things that he's used, because that's the very thing. So when I'm communicating, it is not about me. It is about being a vessel to impact, to influence, to be a voice of change. And a lot of times to be a tour guide, to be on this journey, so that when I'm talking to people, a lot of times, like Katina, you're saying me too, a lot of times that's what I'm hearing from people is, oh my gosh, how did you know? Because God is using me in that area. Another thing, when it came to maximize your existence, how this whole thing was birthed was my hair. Okay, so the craziest thing is, I think it was about 2 years ago, I wore a lot of sew-ins, a lot of wigs, and nothing wrong with that. And I'm not saying I won't ever wear them again. Nothing wrong with that. So hear my heart on where I'm going with this. So I used to wear a lot of sew-ins, a lot of wigs, and all of that. And one day when I was getting my hair braided from one of the ladies who was making my wig, she was like, Tasha, why don't you just cut the rest of this perm out? And I was like, what are you talking about? And when she was saying, she said, you're natural. I didn't even realize that. But I was like, oh, so I went to my regular hairdresser and told her, I said, I'm going to start going natural now. And I thought I was going to have to be in her chair all day. And I imagined all of this different stuff that she was going to have to do. Got in her chair. She did her thing. And she said, we're done. And it was like literally a couple hours. And I was like, wait, what did you do? And she was like, no, Tasha, that's your hair. And I was like, you mean to tell me I had this all along? And she was like, yeah, this is your hair. And my point is, I didn't realize what I was working with. I thought that I had to go through this whole process and adopt all this different stuff, but this is what I had all along. So in my case, it's hair. In your case, what is it that you already have that you've been despising or that you've been ignoring or that you've been hiding that God is saying, no, that's the thing. That's the thing. Does anybody want to be bold enough and put in the comment section on what their thing is? Whatever it is, I believe that God is saying in this season, now is the time. You've said yes. Now is the time for you to go all in with who you are and why you are. Like, go all in on who you are, your identity, who you are for your assignment in the marketplace, who you are, your assignment on your job, in your family, whatever it is, the things that we've been despising, hiding, or ignoring. I believe that in this season, God is saying now is the time for you to own it. For me, like I mentioned, the first part of me coming out and being a speaker, trainer, coach was all about waking up. It was about giving myself permission. But now, the very thing that I've got to do is maximize. And I've got to go all in, because the alternative for you and I is when we don't, we start shrinking back and we start settling and playing it safe. Are y'all hearing me? So the alternative from shrinking back, settling, and playing it safe is you got to go all in. And you've got to look at yourself, look at your life, and the very things that you've been hiding, ignoring, those are the very things that I believe that God is putting his finger on and saying, now is the time to maximize. That is, for me, how Maximize Your Existence came into being. And so the other thing is, the other part of this is we have to guard ourselves against distraction. Distraction can come in the form of comparison. It can come in the form of competing in an unhealthy way. If we're going to maximize our existence, we got to own it, and we got to guard ourselves against distraction and comparison. And you've got to look at your life, and you've got to know that everything about you, whether it's your hair, your voice, whatever it is, the purpose, the drive that he's given you, whatever it is, you've got to know that you know that you know that you said yes, but now it's time to go all in. Now it's time to fully maximize in the very areas, because what you're working with, who you are, your identity, that is the tool, that is the resource, that is the thing that I believe in this season, 2019, that God has brought you through. He's kept you here for that very reason, so that you don't get caught up in thinking, but I don't have what so-and-so has, or I don't look like so-and-so, or my purpose doesn't look like there, or my gift doesn't look. No, he's saying, time out. It's not about comparing to anybody else. It's about you being everything that he called you to be. So let me go to the comment section. I want to hear, what are your ahas from what I just shared? What are some things that you just got out of what I shared today on Maximize Your Existence? While I'm saying good morning to some people, good morning, Dabrika. Good morning, Valerie. Hi, LaShandra. Hi, Linda. LaCarsha, thank you for saying that. Latoya, good morning. So what is it that stood out to you today? And when I shared Maximize Your Existence, it came to your mind and you said, yep, that's the area right there that I've been hiding. That's the area that I've been despising. That's the area right there. What is it for you? Because the first thing you've got to do is acknowledge it. That's the first thing that you have to do. For me, the first thing I had to do was acknowledge it. I had to acknowledge that I was comparing myself to everything and everybody else. Here's the thing. Here's one question that I have for you. If money was not an obstacle, people's opinions didn't matter, if you knew that you could not fail, what would you really be doing? How would you really be showing up in your life? If all of those things that I described, if people's opinions, money, you knew you couldn't fail, you had the confidence to do anything, what would you be doing? Chances are that's the area right there. Whatever came to your mind, that's the area. So LaShondra, thank you for your hearts. Valerie says, being true to yourself and staying with it. Linda said, this is it, settling. Okay. Okay. So if that's the area that came up for you, then that's the area that I would challenge you. Put that area on the altar right now. Literally put that area on the altar. What do I mean by put it on the altar? Pray and ask God to show you how to release that. And when you let go of your grasp, show him, ask him to help you to receive, so that you are not looking at yourself to fulfill the purpose, to live the calling, to grow the business, to maintain the relationship, whatever it looks like, so that you're not looking at yourself, but you're literally saying, God, I can't do this without you. I don't want to do this without you. I take my eyes off of myself, my own limited strengths, my own limited mindset, my own limited abilities. And I say, God, I'm asking you right now to help me to live, maximize. Help me not to settle anymore in any area. Help me to stop hiding who I am. Help me to stop hiding and making excuses and apologizing for the gifts, for the calling that you've given me. That's why that song, This Is Me, stood out to me so much. Again, I'm going to read this. She says, I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, because here I come. Some of y'all need to have a look out, here I come mentality today, that you are not going to apologize and walk around people anymore. You're going to walk through the doors without, you're going to walk through the doors without the shame or guilt from the past. Oh, I got to read that again. I am brave. I am bruised. I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, because here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. Ashley says, I despise talking in front of a crowd. This last month has shown me that I need to do more of sharing my story. Yes, Ashley. Yes. Yes. Like, I can even see, Ashley, with your business, like you help people, you help me, you've been a blessing to me, but you're not meant to be in anybody's shadow. There's a story, there's a platform that you have, that you're on the forefront, even while you're operating in your gifts. I'm not scared to be seen. I pray over you today that whatever fear you have, especially when it comes to being around people, and sometimes we can be scared to be ourselves around the very people that we know, whether it's friends, family, whatever. I pray that if that's you, that you no longer are scared to be seen. And what I mean by that, you're not scared to be you. You're not scared to be the person that God has called you to be. You're not hiding. I use the example of my hair or my voice just to illustrate that you have qualities that are in you that need to be seen. So now that I've gotten out of, and like I said, I'm not saying anything's wrong with wigs or sew-ins. I'm not saying that I would never wear them, but it's so awesome how God showed me that illustration, that I had some good things that I was working with, and I just had to come out of hiding. And that is how Maximize Your Existence came into being. It started with me. But for everything that God does in you, He does it to you first so that He can do it through you. So then what happened is Maximize Your Existence then became a book. Well, actually, before the book, it started as a webinar. That I shared. Then it came into a book. Then it became a keynote speech. Then it became a masterclass. And now it's a workshop. What God is doing in you, what he's doing in me, he's doing it because he has assignments for us. And it's not enough for us to hide and settle and play it safe anymore. He needs us. He needs us. And I know being a faith-based woman, being a business owner, being a professional woman, being a woman, a mom, whatever in the community, sometimes I know we can feel like, but I don't know my place. I say start where you are. Maybe he just has you encouraging one person right now, but he's giving you a vision to be a coach or a speaker. Start where you are, use what you have. So that's the beginning of Maximize Your Existence. That's how it started. And what you're seeing now is the evolution. So on February 2nd, which is a Saturday, I am hosting a workshop, which is the first of 4 series in Maximize Your Existence this year in Montgomery, Alabama. If you are interested in coming to this workshop, I am going to literally be sharing, I'm going to be training on how to really maximize your purpose. Like, you know what it is. The answer is in you, but sometimes we need help getting it out of us so that we can really fully show up in the ways that we're meant to show up and not play safe anymore. I'm going to talk to you about some practical things on how to create your goals, how to get your strategies together. And I love to operate 90 days at a time. And why 90 days? Because I think sometimes when we do 1-year plan, 3-year, 5-year plans, I think we get discouraged and distracted. And so if we have a 90-day plan, which is 1 quarter, that helps us to set our focus, set our intention, and get some accountability and support around that so that we can also start experiencing some victories along the way. And I don't know about you, but if you're anything like me, I need to see some wins. I need to see some wins so that I can see the momentum. I believe in faith. I believe in prayer. I believe in all of that, but I need to see manifestations of some wins in my life so that I can keep the momentum going. So it does supercharge my faith even more. That's why I do 90 days at a time. So this workshop, I'm going to share some principles. It's not cookie cutter formula. The answer is in you. The strategies are in you. You just need help in organizing it. So that's what this is going to be. We're going to have some exciting vendors there. We're going to have some sponsors there. We have a DJ coming because I want this to be a fun, exciting environment. We're going to celebrate. We're going to work. But we're going to connect. You're going to be able to network with some people. But Saturday, February 2nd is the first one. I'm doing 3 others this year, so it'll be quarterly so that you'll have time in between to actually work the plan. So if you're interested in registering for this, register. That's all I can say, register. Maybe you've never invested in yourself before. Don't let that scare you. Be your first investor. Be the first to invest in you, to invest in your dreams. So the investment is $67. There's going to be food provided by Montgomery Super Suppers. You're going to get my book. You're going to get a workbook. You're going to get some other things that are just going to be amazing in addition to the actual training itself. So the website, how you register, is tashamscott.com/workshop. That's how you can join us on Saturday, February 2nd. If you have any questions for me, or if anything I said resonated with you and you just, you need to dig a little deeper, feel free to reach out to me. And I am just excited about the possibilities and the potential for where we can go when we finally learn to stop hiding and stop despising who we are. All right, are y'all in? Awesome. Wow.
Maximize Your Existence with Tasha M. Scott. With only a $67 admission fee, you will be involved with a live workshop with Tasha M. Scott, renewing your hope and your purpose in your life. You will walk away with several resources, including Tasha's combo book. Join us Saturday, February 2nd, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. for your chance to maximize your existence.